So this is the stage where we really need to stand back and take a good look at what does not agree with the model. We're at the point where we have an obvious shape map, so I step back away from it so that I can be objective. We step back, take a good look at the drawing, and then we look at the model. Not surprisingly, there's a lot here that doesn't look like the model. I can see a common mistake. I do it all the time. Everyone does it all the time. Even though this is a 3/4 view, psychologically, we want to see the entire face. So we'll invariably add too much to this side of the face. So I'm going to come in and do some measuring, comparative measuring, to measure from this part of the inside of the nose out to the edge of the ear. And hey, guess what else doesn't look right? This drawing has no ears, so I guess we should put those on there too. So from the inside here to the outside of the ear, I'll take this measurement like this by holding up, and I'll find something else on the face that's equal to that measurement, to that horizontal measurement. And look at that, how far off I am. This is the outside of the ear. So that means I've got to come way back here. It's amazing. And show that much less. And that's what's important about measuring, is to, it's not really that believing is seeing. You know, the truth comes in the measuring. So I'm going to take that much out. That means I have to move side of the skull there. And I'll just use that as the ear. Looks about right. Where I originally had the side of the face. And I'll start to come in, make the mouth a little more narrow. And there's some hair in there that I can kind of see, just a little shadow there, or a little dark spot. Give some length to that chin. I've got that a little compressed. Angle here, hair. Usually the ears, the top of the ear will be somewhere in line with the top of the eyelid, and the bottom of the ear will come somewhere around under the nose. So if I bring level line across here, and then one from the mouth also, and I can test by going like this, seeing where it all falls. The ear falls somewhere in here. Somewhere around there. Now I'm just making little marks here, little tick marks. Okay, take my soft willow charcoal, and I'll just make a quick little gestural line here, just to indicate where that ear might be. And I'll take the edge and just mass in this dark shape to describe the hair. And then there's a dark shape in there. I'll mask that in. That shadow, I'll squint down, look for those little shadow shapes. I don't want to get too fussy here because I'm not quite confident about where the ear actually goes yet. So I've kind of started it there. Right now I've got Fred looking a little too narrow. His jaw is more massive than that. So I need to look for those angles to come down. I'm just making those angle marks. I see an angle here, angle here. The neck comes back. If I draw these plumb lines, remember the plumb lines again. If I draw a plumb line here at the outside of the head as it's refracted through the glasses, and it comes down by the outside of the jaw and down, then that will help me determine where the neck, the edge of the neck, somewhere around in here. Make sure I'm right. And I come down. And that means that neckline coming around there. So I'm just making these little marks. All of this helps me find my way. It's kind of like a little road map, you know, so that I can get directions. Now it seems to me, kind of expanded that out, so there's an angle here. See, I'm working in these angles that Helps me stay true. The beginning is the hardest part. All of this, we're still kind of in the beginning here, still trying to figure out measurements. Working kind of hesitantly, just sort of picking my way through here. Some people work that way, others don't. I know that now I'm being distracted by all these construction lines, so it seems like a good time, kind of take a little break, pretty things up just a little bit, get rid of these construction marks. Don't need them really anymore. There we go. Okay, I can see a little better now. I'm going to come in here with this chamois cloth and just move the material around a bit here. And push the chin. I've got the material here and I'll push the jaw, make it a little more full. Push this down. I don't have the neck quite broad enough still. I can push the old marks around and then start to indicate there, wanting to make sure of where that chin is. I remember when I talked about the shoulder extending out, I've already dropped it down too much, and I see that now. Just take that out. Squint my eyes, that shadow seems to just shoot right along and kind of fall away, so a little broader shoulder than what I had. By pushing things around with the chamois cloth, using it as an eraser, I can make these kind of painterly marks or alter what's there. So, lifted the drawing up. Now it's easier for me to look from the drawing across to the model, compare across to the drawing. I am now going to make the redraw. I'll do all of these aggressive changes now. The first thing I'll do is clear up the forehead and broaden the forehead. I have it too narrow. I'll push the shadows and I'll open up the forehead this way. I'm going to lower this eyebrow a bit. I see now where I could go in with a kneaded eraser as a drawing tool, and I could lift out this triangular shape of light to describe the lips and the mouth. There's a little plane that's catching light there, and this is all too bold and crude. I'll soften this as it turns away from the light. There's a tiny shadow there. I see here now also an opportunity to describe the mouth by lifting out this shape of light, the muscle of the mouth there, and distinctly drawing the light against cast shadow with a kneaded eraser. Again, draw light meeting dark using the kneaded eraser, pulling the light down as it gradates down. Here, the ear, there's a highlight. Here will help me place the ear. I may not have this broad enough, this cheekbone. I'm going to use the kneaded eraser to land some highlights that will give me notations of bone. Here's a light area, plane, the mouth, coming up against the nose. Here now, the nostril again, catching light in here against the shadow of the glasses, coming down. I'm modeling the form now. I'm looking for this highlight here. Maybe that will help the forehead come forward, pushing the values. And here, light spilling down across the neck. I'm actually strengthening this shape map yet again, now with light. And I see some big mistakes in the negative space. So I can use that negative space now to redraw the edge of the collar, edge of the shoulder, and define space behind the model, give space behind the drawing, the figure. Using the side here. Looking again, I'll decide where I can soften or move the charcoal around in a painterly way. Sort of like retoning. Gently, just touching the surface. And I can just as easily, if I think that I've removed too much, I can just as easily take perhaps a large piece of Vine charcoal, put it on the side, add that back in. Make it darker yet. Now sometimes I actually switch to my other hand, if you can believe that. But I just want to get in here a little closer. It's very dark back there. And I think that'll make the drawing have a little more power. And this is kind of fun, you know, it's not very thought-provoking, just sort of fun.